Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is verb phrase 247. The verb phrase today is to steer clear of. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. If a person says to steer clear of someone or something, he or she means that one should try to avoid or stay away from a particular person or thing. Okay, let's continue. The origin of this term derives from sailing. Yeah, like a lot of terms in the past came from sailing and boats in the 18th century. It was originally used to guide a boat or ship away from any obstacle that could cause a danger to the vessel. And we kind of still use it this way today. You have a wheel of a boat and you could steer to the right, steer to the left. And so this is where the idea came from. One of the first citations dates back to 1723 when it was used by Daniel Defoe in his book, Colonel Jacques, I guess. Another citation to help popularize this phrase in a more figurative use where, you're not literally turning a boat or turning a vehicle. Figurative sense was in George Washington's farewell address, farewell, bye-bye, like when he was leaving office in 1796. And here is the quote. "It is our true policy to steer clear of permanent alliance with any portion of the foreign world." Yeah, I know, especially the founding fathers, a lot of them believe that we shouldn't get mixed up with a lot of treaties and alliances because I think they learned, throughout history that usually leads to war. It's a shame we didn't continue to follow that because, we ended up getting into a lot of wars due to things like that later on. But the original founding fathers, like George Washington, they didn't want to have too many treaties or alliances with these foreign powers because, again, they always seemed that somehow that always led to trouble, especially war. All right, let's continue. All right, good. Some others believe the reason steer was used originally in sailing was due to oxen pulling carts. Another name for oxen is steer. Okay. And remember, before this time, most countries were like agrarian countries, so they had to rely a lot on planting food and crops and things like that. So they would be riding, steer or oxen a lot. Okay. Thus, to turn, you had to make the steer change direction. So this is where steer might have originally come, in sailing, maybe due to the oxen. That's what some people think is possible. All right, let's continue, and we have 3 examples here. Here's the first example. I want to lose weight, so I am trying to steer clear of any greasy food. Yeah, so you could try to steer clear of food, for a diet or something like that. All right, number 2 here. I try to steer clear of the boss at the end of the day, just in case he wants to ask me to work overtime. I've heard a lot of people that work in offices sometimes try to do this because, they want to go home. They want to go home around the time that they're supposed to go home. And, maybe right at the end of the day, the boss may ask, well, hey, can you work overtime? I need this done, blah, blah, blah. So they're trying to steer clear of him. That's one way maybe they can get out of possibly having to work overtime. Okay, and number 3 here. Since I retired, I like to steer clear of the morning and evening rush hours because I hate crowds. Okay, yeah, if you're retired, maybe you have the freedom to do this because you don't have to follow an exact schedule. You could try to either go before or after the morning rush hour, and the same with the evening rush hour. Anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.